Hello there. I'm Scotty, and you're not. And I actually didn't plan this review at all, but I bought this movie. Like, this is a revisited review, if you saw the title. So I've already reviewed this like a couple of years ago, back, I think in like one of the first or second year of this channel. I reviewed this. And that's Dream a Little Dream. Vestron just released the Blu-ray. I'm so happy. This is one of my favorite 80s movies ever. Uh, And of course, I just found out that Siskel and Ebert didn't like this movie. Of course, they didn't like this movie. Did they like any movies? I mean, this was in their worst of 1989, and I don't get it. I love this movie. I watched it last night. When I went to bed, popped it in the bedroom, and I'm like, you know what? I want to talk about this again. So I figured after I woke up, had breakfast, I had a chance to wake up. My hair is still got up poofy. I gotta take a shower, but you know. So first of all, let's talk about the actual Blu-ray. The transfer on this is fantastic. Like, it's beautiful HD. It looks great. Sound quality is good. I like the slipcover here. The Vestron slipcovers are just the art on them. They rival Scream Factory for me. They look great. And, when I heard this was coming out, I'm like, what does it look like? So I looked it up, and they had a picture, and it was this. I'm like, that looks great. And so yeah, no complaints with the quality or the sound or anything. But I have one little. Okay, so look at the back of this, right? So you have this, which is the scene where they're walking through Coleman's yard, right? But then you have these two scenes. This one, which I have no idea what that is. It looks like it could be Coleman with a mustache painting his wife, and that could be his wife in the mirror there. But I don't know. The guy has a mustache, so I don't know what that's supposed to be. And what is this? Who's that? I don't know. These two pictures seem to be taken from another movie. These two things are not in this film. I've seen this film a million times. I don't know. Maybe they put the wrong pictures in the back. I don't know. But I try to watch other people's reviews of the Blu-ray specifically to see if someone says anything. They don't. They just talk about the movie and stuff. But yeah. So the movie itself. The movie is great. Shut up, bottle. That's a bottle doing that. This. Story is Corey Feldman plays Bobby Keller. He's a punk 80s kid with his best friend, Dinger. That is his real name. Played by Corey Haim. And, they're the average disrespectful 80s teenager. And he's got a thing. He claims to be in love with the girl who's dating their other friend, Joel. Her name is Lainey. And I always love the first scene. Don't say it. Lainey. Joel, Joel, your friend Joel, he's going to come in here and kill both of us at the same time. I love that. And then, but the local neighbor, older couple, Coleman and his wife, Gina. Coleman is into spiritual stuff and is trying this spiritual thing with his wife. When Bobby and Lainey come from separate directions, and they have a collision, which causes Coleman to go inside Bobby's body. And Bobby is in some kind of dream world. And Gina and Lainey are sort of combined, where it's mostly Lainey's consciousness, but Gina's in there somewhere too. And If I do have one criticism of this film, and I think I said this in my original review, it's that they never specifically say what happened or how to fix it. It just gets fixed at the end of the movie. Like, Bobby tells him, hey, after this certain amount of days, if she falls asleep, it's over. Gina's gone. And then, because of the forcibly overbearing mother character who put sleeping pills, a la Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which also came out this year. No, the year before. But anyway, she goes to sleep. Coleman thinks he's lost his wife, and then Bobby's just like, hey, gotcha, Pops. And, yeah. And I enjoy this movie very much. But that ending is always like, to me, makes me think they didn't have an ending. Like, they couldn't figure out an ending to this. And it's just like, oh, we'll just say that Bobby was joking with him and it was never in any danger. Okay, so why did he have to I don't know. I know it's more about Coleman's journey, trying to understand the generation of today, and also Bobby, who is stuck in his mind dreamscape area, kind of connecting. But it's mostly Coleman, as Bobby pops up here and there in the dream thing. Maybe it's more about, and then because the end implicates that it's about understanding each other. So I get that, because by the end he's like, "Go ahead, you can walk through." He goes, "No, it's okay. We're just gonna go around. Are you sure? It's perfectly fine." "No, I think we'll walk around." "Well, you're welcome anytime." Like, they have respect for each other now, and I get that. But there's another criticism I have, is that Bobby doesn't really learn anything unless he's going through things in Coleman's mind while this is happening. Is there like an extended edition of this somewhere? Maybe it has these two scenes in there? I don't know. But I don't know. But on the positive side, though, Corey Haim is like the funniest thing in this film. I know this is helmed as a two Corey's film, and it is, but it's mostly Corey Feldman. Haim is there, but he's credited as and Corey Haim at the end of the thing. So, yeah, it's more of a Jason Robards, Corey Feldman movie, which, and, to kind of compare it to another film that's sort of like that is Blown Away, where it has the two Corys in it, but it's more of a Corey Haim thing with Corey Feldman also there, And I don't mean the other Blown Away with Kurt Russell. Jeff Bridges, question mark? I don't know. But, yeah, this, and the music, there was a point last night I was watching this. I was laying in bed, and I actually dozed off a little bit, because it got quiet, talking, stuff. And then the music started up, and I was like, okay, I'm back. And I was just with it for the rest of the film. I love the music of this film, the soundtrack. I'm gonna put a soundtrack list on my phone. I actually, when I had a computer, I burned a CD with the entire soundtrack on that CD, and I listened to it constantly. Hit up Popcan, because I love the soundtrack. Dream a Little Dream of Me by Mickey Thomas. You have the time runs wild, time runs free, time runs wild like a child that's living inside of me. I've got dreams to remember. Some nitpicks now. Here's some nitpicks that don't really tie in to the overall review, but nitpicks. Teachers just allow kids to smoke on campus in the 80s. There's a scene where I'm assuming it's gym class, and they're playing touch football, and you got Dinger there dancing with his cane because his mom run over his leg, and he's got a cigarette in his hand, and he's doing this, and I'm like, what teacher is seeing this and not telling him, hey, put it out? Sort of, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. The actor who plays Joel does this a lot during his performance. Like, there's a scene where he gets an argument with Dumas, right? And then Laney looks over to him, and he's just like, I'm just like, what? And I noticed that throughout the film when he's talking, he's just, with his fingers, I'm like, is that like what they told him to do? Is that just how the actor does it? I don't remember seeing this actor in anything else, so I don't know, but he does a fantastic job, but the fingers, I don't know. Another standout in this film is Harry Dean Stanton as Ike. He's a guy, this teenager shows up claiming to be his best friend Coleman, and he doesn't believe him until the dog likes him. He's like, well, and his wife's like, that dog doesn't like anyone except Coleman. So then he believes him because of the dog. All right. And then Coleman goes out as Bobby with Laney, and here's another thing. Not a nitpick, but like the whole attraction, like before this thing happened, there was no attraction between Bobby and Ike. Well, Bobby was attracted Ike, not Ike, Laney. Excuse me, Bobby and Laney, not Ike. Sorry, Ike. It's all right. Between Bobby and Laney. Laney had no attraction to Bobby before the incident where they both got tracked in, and we're shown that. That Coleman and Gina love each other very much. They are very much a loving old couple. But while Bobby claims to be in love with Laney, Laney has never shown any interest toward him because she's with Joel. And again, this goes back to the fact that I don't know if they knew how to wrap it up properly, is that after everything is said and done, they're just together. Like, he's got his arm around her and they're walking, and it's like, okay, but like, what about Joel? Because he was freaking out on Dumas, but we don't see his reaction to them being together. I mean, we see like a scuffle, and we pretty much see that it was over anyway because he pushed her, but I don't know. And then there's her mom, who does not like Bobby for some reason, even though he hangs out in the same group as Joel, but she thinks Joel is a better person, which he's not. He's an asshole. Drinking at school. That I could let go because it wasn't like people know he's drinking. He's hiding it in his locker. But nowadays, you wouldn't be able to do that. People, no. Wouldn't be able to do that when I was going to school, for God's sake. But, yeah, they're just kind of together. And it's like, we don't really see anything. Like, you see Coleman. Like, see, that's another nitpick complaint, is that we don't see anything from Bobby's side. It's always Coleman. Like, what is Bobby doing in the dream world? What is going on? And then when he comes back, there's no, talk between him and Laney and whether or not they remember anything or she remembers anything. If he, obviously he still remembers what happened if he and Coleman are winking at each other, But, I don't know. But those are just nitpicks. All those things I just said, they're nitpicks because I love this movie, right? I love it from beginning to end. The music, the acting, even the weird mannerisms. Here's another nitpick. We never specifically find out why Dumas's gang is at odds with this gang. They just at each other throughout points of the film until it comes to a head. He shows up with the gun. Joel shows up with the gun. Hey, it's a party. Who's got the chips? And it's just like, okay, it's gotten to a point where it's escalating with a gun, and they have to go get Bobby, and that being Dinger and some other dude whose name I still don't know, to get Bobby, and then, I don't know, but to me, I just find it enjoyable. An enjoyable film, which is why, when it comes to Dream a Little Dream, it's going to go. Try that again. To the Moon. That's right. To the Moon. Fantastic film. There's little nitpick thingies, and then, yeah, to me they are nitpicks, because they don't mess up my enjoyment of this film at all. But, yeah, to me it's almost perfect. So, good enough to get the To the Moon rating. So, what are your thoughts on Dream a Little Dream? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.